Hey guys, we're sitting at the 2024 Telluride Mushroom Festival. I'm sitting with Chris Medary. Chris has sort of been our liaison with the MyCOreach coal fire project for the festival this year. This is my first time meeting him in person. I think what we'll try and do is get to know him and see sort of like his little path, how he got here, and maybe why he's even talking to me right now.
Sure.
Hey man.
Hey.
Thanks for coming. Are you working with the festival?
Yeah, I'm working here with the festival. Okay. So I handle, I organize all the forays for the festival. So this year we had just under 30 forays.
Cool.
Everyone who attends the fest has an opportunity to get out with people like yourself to learn about wild foods and scientific collections, and we try to meet everyone's curiosities as best we can.
Yeah, there's a lot of palates here, right? Like
for sure.
A whole bunch of different tastes, and people want to learn more about mushroom dyeing or growing or extraction.
Yeah,
so
it's the world of fungus is a diverse world, and so we try to match that with a diverse set of interests and a diverse set of offerings.
In 2024's fest, did you work last year, or is this?
I've worked with the festival for the past 5 years.
Great.
Either voluntary or on their staff.
So anything that stands out? I mean, obviously we're really proud of the MyCOreach van, but anything that stands out in 24 this year? Yeah,
I mean, the MyCOreach van definitely stands out this year for sure. I would say that this project is on the cutting edge for community science and citizen science or community mycology. These terms are kind of used interchangeably these days.
Yeah, I love it.
What you've put together here to show how accessible it is to learn about cloning or DNA sequencing, or even just something simple like using a microscope. I mean, this is something that for kids growing up especially might seam far off or like intangible, or science is something that happens in laboratories far away, behind a door. And by having an offering like the van, I mean, it literally could drive to an event and provide that type of super tangible education. And
that's been my favorite feedback so far, is just like the fact that, you know, we've got interest from Larry in Montana. We were talking to Jacob in Oklahoma now. Like, where can this van go? What kind of things can we push and start to learn around? That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
When was your first year for the festival?
Oh, I think it was 2020 was my first year, and I was going as an attendee and ended up volunteering.
I think that's the way you guys do it, though, right?
You rope us in, right? That's everyone ends up saying yes to much more than they thought they were going to say yes to.
Yeah, and I think
that's
festival. The part about it that I think is appropriate to highlight is that, like, any one of us who got interested in the subject to begin with is now already bitten off more than they wanted to.
Yeah,
right? And it's sort of like a guilty pleasure sometimes.
I think so, and I think we're all inspired by the kingdom or queendom that we love, and fungi are generous things, transformative, dynamic beings, and so I think everyone in the festival carries that some of that inspiration too.
Let me ask you a question. What is your most favorite mushroom to eat? And it can be concert mushrooms, it can be restaurant mushrooms, whatever you want.
Sure. What do you mean concert mushrooms?
We'll edit that out. It's psychedelics. I like to tongue in cheek for my crowd.
Sure. Well, let's see.
Or what attracted you to mycology or mushrooms or any of that?
Yeah, my path to mycology kind of has a couple different threads in it. I would say the first path is through environmentalism.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's on the house, man. Talk to him.
Yeah. My first pass is through environmentalism. And so through environmental management and thinking about climate change and rangeland restoration and water holding capacity of soils and these types of things. That was my first introduction. So it's definitely from like soil health, soil food web, these types of concepts and approaches to environmental health. And then working in a wild food and farm to table restaurant for 4 years-ish in Montreal.
Cool. What a great town.
Definitely. What a great town. I miss it in many ways.
I believe you.
On many days.
Wow.
Different chapter of my life. But so inspiring. I remember the first time I cooked and put the kind of slicing marks into a king oyster mushroom
Yeah.
and got it all nice and
Like a
brown
scallop,
and put it on a white bean puree and it looks all nice like
So
this.
good.
So I think that there's the one side, the kind of joy of improving environmental health and being connected, being a part of these larger systems, which humans we very much are, just like fungi. And then the other part, bringing that kind of joy and seeing that immediate reaction that people have of this thing that's not quite plant and not quite animal.
Ephemeral.
It's fleshy, it's ephemeral, it comes after the rain, but only lasts a moment. So and seeing the joy on their face that they get from that, and that you're giving them that. I mean, it's an offering. When you're a cook, you're providing a service to them, and
No doubt.
and it's wildly intimate, but from a distance.
True.
And it's so that I think that those two things were probably the most inspiring.
That's
things.
amazing. I think of this Portuguese phrase, sobremesa, and it doesn't necessarily mean like around the table verbatim. It more talks about like the people and the nourishment you get from around the table. Like a different kind of nourishment. Sobremesa. I love what you're saying, because the topic has so many threads and it can draw you in many different ways. And I think obviously the primal one is food and medicine, right? So that's
absolutely.
really cool. And then obviously we understand that we're starting to understand sort of its ability to help us be here to begin with, right? So
absolutely.
Stuff,
Absolutely. And that last bit is like something that's like so inspiring for me. And fungi do allow us to be here in so many ways, and I'll try to scope the monologue in my mind right now, so you don't go off the deep end too far.
It's but easy to do.
Like on the personal level, I mean, psilocybin has allowed me to be here. I was one of these people who was suffering pretty severely from depression in my early 20s, feeling disconnected, feeling isolated, all this stuff, and through the intentional use of psilocybin and meditation and going to therapy and
it's not
the
just
love
one
of friends.
Thing. It's a entourage of things, right?
The intentional use and kind of the, let's say, non-linear co-benefits that you can get from that.
For sure.
Just make life easier and more fun and more joy, and you notice more about more things and all this wonderful stuff. And then from like an evolutionary perspective, my favorite groups, and definitely within the past year, the thing that I've been obsessed with is the arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi. So one of the largest and most oldest groups of fungus. I think the oldest fossil that they found is almost 400 million years old. Something like this.
Sometimes the time scales I can't even.
Deep time. And so and they facilitated plants coming to Earth. I mean, they kind of collaborated on those long time scales to make root structures. I mean, that's so inspiring.
Earth, what is it? Earth ship, or like for the Mother Earth.
Oh my God, Spaceship Earth.
Thank you.
Spaceship Earth. Yeah, that's a great concept. And then and they're transformative beings, and they're highly networked beings, and so I find that a lot of their lifestyles, they're like mutualism and symbiosis, has a lot of deep metaphor for humans, for us, for our own society.
And if we're paying attention. Hold on. Sorry, Sebastian. Hi, buddy.
You're good.
That's okay.
Hey, Sebastian.
Hi. So anyway, it's amazing. What you were saying about just how it has the ability to connect us, to like get us to where we are now, like you're journeying and like the path to where we are now, and I feel like there's probably a lot of echoes around us. It sometimes feels like we're in a I did 12-step stuff, so I hear the story the same. Like a lot of people are getting help in a community like this because it's not taboo. We can talk about it openly. We can talk about the science. We can talk about it all, right?
For sure.
So, so real quick, I know the parade is going to happen very soon. I know people are going to get ready to do it. I know you're probably busy, but
is that hat for so?
I don't think so. That's Larry's hat.
Okay.
But you can make your own mushroom leather.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm forgetting what that's called. Do you remember?
If Larry's around. Shane, do you remember what the mushroom leather is called? Just mushroom leather?
Yeah, if you Google mushroom leather,
yeah,
there'll be like a tutorial online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a contest for the Montana Society if you want to enter into a contest for a design.
Why not? That sounds cool. That's cool. Like,
Yeah,
very cool.
that would be
Montana.
that's
Find
an
Larry
awesome
Evans.
option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. See you, bro. So anyway, parade's about to start. Do you have a costume?
I don't have a costume this year.
Okay.
Usually I make one impromptu. Last year I was the rain,
Okay.
and that complemented my coworker Teal, who was Pupui, the
Nice.
force that makes the
Yes.
mushrooms spring up.
Beautiful.
And I think I may be a rain prepared
Onlooker.
picker.
Okay. There you go.
this
Yeah,
year
yeah.
because I think it's going to come down pretty soon.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking the time to hang
Thanks
out.
so much, Michael. It's so nice to spend
any
time
like
with
social media plugs or anything like that you want to handles or whatever?
Make it out to the Mushroom Festival if you can next year. Support MyCOLove. Support anyone who's making, who's doing fungal work, conservation work, and yeah, join the movement.
Thanks, man.